remittances providers, and 73 forex bureaus. So our financial sector is liberated, it's vibrant, and it is global. Now, within this city, Nairobi, we have UN headquarters here, being the first in the continent, and the global headquarters for UNEP and UN Habitat is here in Nairobi, and as well as about 23 other UN agencies that are calling Nairobi home and Kenya home. This means that you're able to access quality, world-class services, social amenities, among them education. So you will find very good international schools here should you choose to live in this country, because we are serving the global community. As a country, we are strategically located by sea, by air, and by road. And we have about 4 international airports, namely Jomo Kenyatta, that a majority of our visitors landed through. We have the Mombasa, we have Eldoret, and we have Kisumu. We also have 2 seaports, and you have been able to see the numbers that come through our ports, and about 30 flights and 2 passenger rail services daily. So we have a meter gauge railway, and we have also a standard gauge rail. So this is the reason why you should consider Kenya for your investment. We have an environment that is conducive for business, because our economy is liberated. We have attractive opportunities, and we also facilitate you. How do we do this? Our economic liberation means that you can actually repatriate your capitals and your profits 100%. We protect your investment constitutionally, and we give you certain guarantees with regards to your investment. We facilitate you through a one-stop shop at Kenya Investment Authority. This is where you need to start as you make your entry to invest in Kenya, because we'll guide you on how to invest and facilitate you with your company registration, whether you're incorporating or you're looking for joint ventures, or you're basically looking for market data that can help you make a decision. We do that at Kenya Investment Authority. We handhold you to get all the necessary permits that you require to be able to settle, including work permits. We facilitate your visa and all the paperwork that you need to be able to travel to this country. So anytime you think of coming to Kenya to further some of the leads that you picked, of the good conversation that you're having, talk to us and we'll facilitate you. Once you make a decision, we'll even locate you where it is suitable for your business, be it at the export promotion zone or the special economic zone, or even help you find land, find space, find those facilities that you need, find partners that you need to work with, find financial institutions, help you open a bank account, get you all the tax processes that you need and the paperwork, and even get work permits for your staff once you've made a decision to invest in this country. Our political and microeconomic environment is quite stable. You may have seen some conversation in the media as visitors, but did you ever experience any discomfort? The answer is no, because our economy, our politics is mature. We are free to engage, to disagree, and agree with government. And as a matter of fact, we could even invite some of the demonstrators to this room. They share their views and they walk out. So we are that stable and mature as an economy. We have high labor productivity. We are headed towards zero literacy level. Our transition from basic education, that's primary, from grade 1 all the way to grade 8 is almost 100%. So our literacy level has reduced, and so we have more highly skilled manpower out there. 70% of our population is youth. If you look around this room, you'll get an average of, I think 35, isn't it? Average. Our average population, 70% is below the age of 35, and all of them has at least high school certification. A majority of them actually have tertiary and university degrees. That is our labor force, highly skilled, quite good work ethic, and they are switched on. As mentioned, Nairobi is the hub, and we are the go-to place and where to start when you're thinking of business in the continent. All right, beyond just locating in Kenya as your factory, you're able to access different opportunities and markets that are outside Kenya and within the continent. Within East Africa community, we have over 300 million people that you have access to once you locate and do your business in Kenya. Of course, in addition to 51 million Kenyans, we are opening up the continent of Africa through Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and that's about 1.3 billion people. So the moment you make a decision to locate your business in Kenya, we are giving you 1.3 billion people market. And we will work with you, we'll hold your hand to ensure that you conquer that market. Beyond that, we have AGOA that allows you, especially those of us in agro-processing, textile, manufacturing, you have access to the American market, and a majority of those businesses are located within our export promotion zone, and I hope you've had a chance to visit. They'll be able to share what exactly they offer you within our AGOA. We recently entered into an economic partnership agreement that will allow businesses located in Kenya to access the EU market. So again, that is the market that we offer you once you make a decision to allocate in this part of the world, as well as the COMESA market. So just beyond being locating here to feed the 50 million and the guaranteed 300 million and the 1.3 billion African market, we are offering you the American market, we are offering you the European market, we are offering you the COMESA market. That's the market that you are addressing. So the bankability and the addressable market is more than what you imagine. All right. This market has been validated. These are the companies that have validated Kenya as the place to locate, the place to do business. These are the brands that have made a conscious decision to have Kenya as their African headquarters. They are thriving, they're accessing the right human resource, the talent, the raw material, and they're accessing the markets. Why can't you join this great team of great brands? I know you can. This is the time to make that great decision. As a matter of fact, we only have two types of businesses currently in the world. Those that are growing and those that are dying. We have proved that the growing businesses are in Africa. And I'm sure you're making the decision to be part of the growth. Thank you for considering that. All right, beyond just the macro, the government has made a conscious decision. We have a new government in place that is about a few months in leadership. And this is the government accelerated development plan that is looking at certain sectors that we believe will help us spur the economy. One of those sectors is the agriculture sector, the manufacturing sector, and the SME economy. Now, this as well as health, and we are keen to push environmental and climate change. Just to illustrate, we are one of the few, actually the only country in the world that has over 90% of its power being renewable energy. I know that a majority of us have made conscious decisions to work towards zero carbon by 2050. The easiest way to do that is to locate your business in Kenya. Automatic, it's a switch. You just simply walk in and switch on to zero carbon before 2050. Isn't that an amazing thing? Correct. Imagine if you locate in Naivasha Industrial Park, you'll be tapping clean energy affordable from the geothermal. And if you tap it from the source, the current rate is about 7 US cents. Yeah? Guaranteed, reliable, clean energy. So where else can you invest? You can invest in our export promotion zone, and these are some of the incentives that we offer. You are able to, you have perpetual exemption from import duty and VAT on your raw materials and machinery. See, who gives you that? You're able to have at least 10 years of tax holiday. You've been exempted, you are here, you are settled, and you are having tax holiday, tax haven. You are able to get at least perpetual exemption on stamp duty. Underline the word perpetual. You're able to get at least 10 years withholding tax holiday once you make that decision. Investment deduction allowance is 100%, especially on building and machinery. And within the local government advertising and the rest, you have advertising fee exemption, and some of these business permits we support you to get, and that's what we do at Kenya Investment Authority. And therefore, it's a high time to consider locating your business in our special economic zones. All right. Now, what is it that you can do within our special economic zone? And I'll just highlight a few. There's some investment booklets that will provide you, but just to highlight, you can put up a fertilizer manufacturing plant at Dongo Kundu. This is a growing opportunity in our economy, and we have a great market size that you can consider in. Look at the rate of our fertilizer. We purchased over 114 million US dollars worth of fertilizer in 2020. See the growth in 2021, and it's projected that this will grow as we move forward. Our country is agriculture driven. About 70% of employment is from the agricultural sector. So that's a great investment decision. We also invite you to consider having a logistics hub within Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone. With this, you're able to support the access of a majority of your agricultural product either in and out of the continent. See the growth. In 2021, we imported about 6.4 million tons of petroleum products, and this is growing. That's purely fuel logistics within our Dongo Kundu, a great opportunity for you to consider. We also have warehouses at Dongo Kundu that you could think of constructing. If you could just move to the next. Natural gas pipeline. We are keen to build a natural gas pipeline from the port of Mombasa all the way to Tanzania. Great opportunity for you, and as well as a liquid bulk terminal at the port of Lamu. A great opportunity right here. I think I've mentioned agriculture bulk terminal within our port, and you could also invest in the blue economy. We have opportunities in the fisheries, especially value addition for cold storage facilities and fish processing. We have an opportunity for building of ship within our port and water transportation, especially in Lake Victoria, between Kisumu, Homa Bay, Kindu Bay, that is our lake basin. You could consider investing in the textile and apparel sector. We have 300 million market in Africa that we've highlighted, but these are the kind of setups that we are talking about. We have about 65 textile and apparel manufacturers currently located in those EPZs, 7 textile millers, and I've seen the CEO of Rivertex here. We have 29 of those are operating under EPZ, and we have ginneries, 4 of them that are in operation. And therefore, this is a great opportunity for you to consider. Within the edible oil, look at the market size. A great opportunity, especially for a country like ourselves that we have suitable arable land that will allow you to actually venture into the production of crude palm oil. Just but to mention a few, you could consider partnership, JVs and PPP for the edible oil sector. And I'm sure there will be an edible oil truck that you could engage further. Within our Tana River, we are looking for an integrated sugar project. This is validated bankable opportunity at about 320 million US dollars. These are the EIR that you could gain by investing in this. The land is already there, about 20,000 acres, and the opportunity is on especially joint venture. You could invest through equity and debt financing, and also have some value addition from the sugar milling. The feasibility is ready. If you are keen to venture into this, talk to us. We'll give you details. Further, in the livestock sector, this is a great opportunity to invest in the livestock sector. This project is validated, it's bankable, the feasibility study is there. If you are interested, talk to us, we'll give you details and link you up with the project owners. We promote both private and government projects. Now, some of the private projects that we promote is Jumia Kenya Limited, that is in the farm sector. Already the government of Kenya has invested and has injected about 1.4 million through the Kenya Development Corporation, really de-risking this investment. And the opportunity is 8 million US dollars for upgrading of machinery and working capital for this investment. Those in the farm sector, just give me that check. This one we've already de-risked. We can assure you return on investment. I'm receiving the checks after the tea break. We have Pioneer Health Limited, again, validated. The ask here is 10 million for the expansion of infrastructure. As an economy, we are doing perfectly well in fintech. We are having mobile-enabled services in some of our great products, and some of the innovations that you are supporting include Pioneer Health. You have a great opportunity to invest in this. Ask us for details. Again, checks are welcome. All right, then how do you then get started? If you are encouraged and willing to invest, come to Kenya Investment Authority. We are going to we support investment promotion, and that's exactly what we are doing. We also look at some of those hindrances that will make it difficult or challenging for you to make that decision. We input to the policies and recommend those changes. We facilitate your investment. Once you've made that decision, we unhold you, and most importantly, we have one-stop services that include company registration. We support with all the work permits, even visa processing, utility connectivity, tax issues, and all the certificates that you need. And we also link you up with our special economic zones, among them EPZ and SEZ. Now, they are here. Some of the partners within our ministry include Kenya Development Corporation. They are here. They are investors. They have opportunity. Talk to them. We have export processing zone. They're going to give us a presentation. And we also have a department whose role is simply to look at the policy reforms and investment climate. Without further ado, I would like to really thank you for listening, and just to confirm that we are ready to receive your investment and to facilitate you. Thank you very much.
I think that these speakers are on the way, so I know much more time to allocate people.
Okay, let's give another round. Good. Hey guys, you don't like my voice after that wonderful voice by John. Let's give another round of applause. Good. I think it's Kenya to the world, or the world to Kenya through Indonesia, right? Very good. Thank you, June, for that presentation. I'm trying just to do a very delicate balancing act, because I know once the ministers make their way here, we'll do balancing, delicate balancing. So I will reorganize just the order of how we speak quickly, so that we can also get to hear from Indonesia. So I will invite Keproba to make a 5-minute highlight of what they do. Then we'll see who else can recap. Let's just respect the time so that we can be able to manage it. So let's welcome our colleague. Let's invite him with the same enthusiasm as we done with the meeting.
Our colleagues from Indonesia, Kenyans present here, our leaders in attendance, welcome. This is Itason Nyachwaya from the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, Kenya's Trade Promotion Organization. What my colleague from Kenya Investment tell you, the logo that was on this other end, even if it was not mentioned, it is us, the Made in Kenya mark. That is us. So we are also a big partner in Kenya's business cycle. As we wait for my presentation, okay, here it is. As I said, we are here to present business opportunities, part of which has already been presented by our colleague from Kenya Invest. And so, next slide, please. As I said, this is our trade promotion organization mandated to implement export promotion opportunities, initiatives, and national branding initiatives. As you are aware, whatever you produce in this country, you can either sell it here or sell it abroad. And the vehicle through which you can do that is through the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency. And whatever product that you have, look at the one that is before you. It's already branded. And we'd like to know, to see the companies that have come from Indonesia making their products and branding. And we'll also support you to brand these products before they go out. The branding is done, the initiatives for branding is done free of charge through. Next, we will support you through 4 strategic objectives. One, once you locate here, you not only sell in this country, but you look forward to selling to our neighbors. My colleague from Kenya Invest did mention the kind of opportunities you have both within EAC and the COMESA and the entire of Africa. But we also have preferential treatments with other countries. So once you locate in this country, opportunity to access those markets courtesy of the Kenya Export Promotion and Planning Agency. We are also saying that once you locate here, we are aware that we are only making maybe a product or two. But once you locate here, we will also support you to diversify your products and the markets to which these products are being sent. And we also here, we are happy that you've come here. This will be one of our markets. Indonesia will be our next destination. And so the various business entities that have presented themselves or introduced themselves, they are looking forward to coming to you. The second last strategic objective is to brand the image and reputation of this country. Your products as they go to those markets. We want to undertake that we will do whatever it takes to promote your brand as a legal entity and also ensure that it gains entry to that market. And our main goal, we are aware that Indonesia has 300 million persons. We want to promote our tea to at least 100 million persons. Together with our coffee, we are sure that once that comes to fruition, that will help our enterprises to grow and also come to Indonesia. How are we traded in the past? Look at the figures that we are doing. 10 million USD as opposed to 208 in the next slide. Look at the, yeah. Look at how we performed in the last almost 10 years. We are at an average of 10, 14 to 9, now almost 10. We want to reverse that trend, and we invite you as a stakeholder, once you locate here, support us, bring investors to produce here, and some of those products we can also export to our neighboring countries. And when we bring our tea to your destination, you can also be a point through which you can export. You can import our tea, but you can also re-export the same tea to your neighboring countries. And we are looking forward to that kind of partnership that will enable us to do this. Next, what have we imported? What have we imported from what have we been exporting to you? The first one is our tea, followed by our leather products, and the rest is, as you see, the value of our exports is not much to talk about, but if you look at the first 5 products, they constitute about 90%, 93% of our export products. We want, through our strategic objective 2, to diversify this product range so that we can have more coming not only to within the East African countries, but also to Indonesia. And next is what have we imported from Indonesia? Most of our product, the products we've brought in from Indonesia, which is about 47% as a share of what we have imported in 2022, 47 palm oil and its fractions. We are aware that this is what makes most of our edible oils, and I'm happy to note that the edible oil industry here will be looking forward on how to enhance their partnership with those that are representing that sector here to be able to not only produce more for the region, for our country, but also see how we can partner to enlarge that portfolio. Next, we have now an export potential for 3 also products. The first one is our tea, currently what we are currently selling, our coffee, our nuts, flowers, medicaments, in that order. We would like to partner with you to enable us to sell more of those products to your country, because we know we have the potential to produce this. We have the capacity. As you come to learn, within Kenya now, we have a farm that is producing and has the capacity to produce and sell within East and Central Africa. And if you partner with that enterprise as our colleague from the Pharmacies and Professions Board will confirm to you, then you'll have a stake, not only selling within, but also selling even to the US. Next, you are aware that the country has identified 8 value chains that it wants to support to grow the domestic economy, and the products that will come from this. Some of these have already been mentioned by my colleague from the Keninvest and the opportunities they are in. So I want to encourage that as you locate here, we want you to partner with us to not only produce diversity of the products that are coming from each of these sectors, but we also, when that is done, support you to promote these goods to our neighbors and the rest of the world. This is what we will be able to do for you once you are in each end of these sectors. Next, how will we do this? The first point of contact will be, we need to understand the Indonesian market, and so we have to undertake a market survey to know the customer preferences, identify market opportunities, which we'll present to our people here for them to consider taking them up. We'll also want to do promotion activities between us and Indonesia. And finally, we want to do an MOU that will between Indonesia Export Promotion Council and ourselves to enable us create a platform where we exchange information, have partner with us in supporting each other whenever we want to do those promotion activities in each other, in either of our countries. And so I want to support that. I want to encourage and welcome you to Kenya. And once you are here, make the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency your partner in venturing into our neighboring countries. And what we can also do, because you don't understand most of the neighboring countries, we can conduct market research, market intelligence, which we can support your industries to locate and support, inform, so that you can make an informed entry strategy in those markets. With this, I want to submit, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. I like how we are going. I know we are behind time, but thank you for really, especially the opportunity gap. Our import-export diversity presents a very big opportunity, and I hope both our visiting delegation and our Kenyan business sector can see what we have to do. I want just, before I call the next presentation, to do just some small protocol issues to acknowledge some of our leaders who have come and joined us. And I will just be briefly just asking them to say hi. I will start with the CEO of Rivertex, Professor. You can just say Jumbo. Rivertex, he can tell you later. I want him to say hi to you guys.
Good morning. It's very good to be having this meeting today to discuss business opportunities. I have been Jakarta, Indonesia before. It's a beautiful country. And welcome to Kenya. And as Rivertex, we are one of the largest textile mills in Kenya, integrated textile mill. We start from raw material to finished products. And I saw some products outside there, I think from Indonesia. We can discuss more how we can partner together. So I'm very happy this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to have CEO of the Kenya National Trading Corporation to say hi to the team.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pamela Mutua, CEO of Kenya National Trading Corporation. I think I'll be able to talk more about us in a few presentations later. Thank you.
Thank you. From associations or business member organizations, let me ask the CEO of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce to say hi.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, the leaders who are here, including my chamber president, and also the friends from Jakarta, Indonesia, chamber members. Good morning. Yes, I'm Patrick Nyangweso, the CEO of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are very excited to be here because Indonesia is our homegrown friend and also partner. We have worked with them, we have walked a long journey. You will hear more from my chamber president when he will be making his opening remarks. And to the team who are here, the business fraternity, this is an opportunity to really exploit and network and also engage our colleagues from Jakarta so that you will be able to make businesses. The embassy of Indonesia here is very friendly. They would be able to engage you more. I've seen the officials here. And we are looking forward to really make this a reality. Thank you so much, the ministry. Thank you so much, the officials. We are ready to work with you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge Balozi Matwanga from Foreign Affairs in case of any diplomatic issues. Is here. We are not repatriating anybody, but should you require an urgent passport or visa, it will help us in diplomacy. My last two acknowledgements. One is to acknowledge the president of the chamber, Dr. Eric Ruto. I know during the other session with the ministers you'll have a chance to speak, but we have to acknowledge you're a captain of industry. You can say hi.
Thank you very much. I'll start with my colleague on the other side, that is Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Mr. Jasbedi, who is also the chair of KEPROBA, the senior government officers who are here, the business delegates, both from Indonesia and from Kenya. Happy good morning. Indeed, we have had a very good and fruitful relationship between ourselves and Indonesia. And last year, March last year, we were in Indonesia and we signed an MOU with the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. And from there, we have had a lot of fruitful engagements in terms of sharing business intelligence information, and we welcome you. Kenya is a gateway and a beautiful country. I'm sure you've started the sampling. So as I was told that the program has delayed, I say the most important thing for us is government has done the facilitation. Us is now to do the B2B. So I think we are not late, but we are on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chamber President. And then my brother, the chairman of Kenya Private Sector Alliance, chairman of KEPROBA, and apparel and textile sector guru, Jasbedi, say hi.
Thank you, John, and all protocols observed, including the president of the chamber who's here on this high table. As I've been introduced, my name is Jasbedi. I'm the chairman of Kenya Private Sector Alliance and also the chairman of Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency. And when Peterson was doing the presentation earlier on, I looked at those statistics for the last 10 years. The trade imbalance has been largely in favor of Indonesia by an average of $500 million, not the $220 million of last year. That could be 1 year where we imported less. But the average trade imbalance is in favor of Indonesia. I'm very happy that the Indonesian delegation is here today. Our exports have been very nominal, about $10 million, as you all saw on the slide. But I think this is an opportunity today for us to be in one room to discuss that and say, guys, how can we increase trade between our two countries? How can Indonesia increase their exports? And how can Kenya increase their exports? How can we both win? And in that process, that we can even reduce the balance of trade between the two countries. So happy to discuss, happy to engage, and let's see how the morning progresses. But I'm very sure by the end of today, we will have some deals signed up. They'll be all to June can sign them up and say yes, can invest deliver. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. With those protocols dispensed off with, we will do a short presentation by the CEO of Kenya National Trading Corporation, Madam Pamela, and then we will delve into the Indonesian companies who are here. Will be able to do that, then we can be able to get on with it. If by any chance you have been missed out in the acknowledgements, feel acknowledged. Just see me behind the corner, drop me a paper, I'll come and acknowledge if you have missed you. But let's put our hands together for Madam Pamela Mutua. Thank you. Pamela. I'm told to speak from here because you're live.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you can see.
This is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I think I had said I'll be presenting, so I didn't talk so much about KNTC. And I hope I'm clear and audible. Is that okay? Can I use the pad? I can't see. I can't see. I can't return. So, Kenya National Trading Corporation is a state corporation in the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, or Investment, Trade and Industry. We are mandated to act as a procurement agent for the government and participate in the promotion of wholesale and retail trade in order to strengthen the supply chain of essential products within the country. The corporation is also mandated with the responsibility of supporting micro, small and medium enterprises sector through supply of raw materials, provision of consultancy services, and identification of products of their products in the market. So these are our mandates: participating in the promotion of wholesale and retail business and e-trade in line with Vision 2030. Improve and strengthen supply chain and distribution systems for both formal and informal sector. To be a procurement agent of the government and general public at reasonable commercial prices. We partner with other key players to avail relevant products and input for the agricultural sector. We also mandated to set up trading houses in the export markets. And finally, as I've mentioned, to promote the development of MSMEs, markets, expansion and diversification of trade in line with the government policy. So just for the purposes of the Indonesia team, KNTC was actually came to life in 1965 when our founding president, Jomo Kenyatta, realized that there was a gap between traders in Kenya and the markets, other markets. Of course, we are, in some commodities we are net, we always have deficit, so we are always importing. And in those days, of course, there was a limitation of foreign exchange currency, and importation was a big challenge for our traders then, who are located in a place called Nyamakima here in Nairobi. So KNTC was formed to actually bridge that gap. And the key role of KNTC was to import in bulk rice, sugar, and any other commodities, and then all the traders would buy from KNTC. So that was the role of KNTC until the early 90s when liberalization happened, and of course now there was free flow of foreign exchange, and traders could then participate in importation of goods and commodities freely. So that was actually the main reason why KNTC was founded. Of course, over a period of years, through several governments, as we transitioned, KNTC has evolved to do much more. As we look at different facets of the economy, we look at the Vision 2030 and the role KNTC can play within government and even in partnership with the private sector. Products, the corporation distributes in bulk a wide range of high quality local and imported products. Among the products distributed include sugar, rice, salt, fertilizer, seeds, edible oils, etc. We also supply other products, raw materials manufactured by MSMEs. Our target market has been largely government institutions. We also do direct consumer selling, resellers and wholesalers and industrial customers. Our shareholding, we are 100% owned by government through Kenya Development Corporation. The government has mandated KNTC to create strategic reserves for stable and essential food items, farm inputs, and many other goods necessary to ensure stability in prices of core goods consumed by Kenyans. So one of our mandates is to act as a price stabilizer. So when goods, let's say for example, in the recent past, we had seen prices of food commodities go way up. So we had rice, we have maize meal, wheat flour, which have really gone up. So the role of KNTC is to look for ways and means to try and ensure we can bring down the price of commodities down. We've done that successfully in the past 6 months for cooking oil. We've also done that for rice. We are work in progress for maize. We have a project we are working on maize because, as you know, we were the ones who were participating with the fertilizer subsidy program. And of course, now we are looking at a target of almost 30 million bags of maize that will be harvested, come around September. And with that, we are looking at how then do we leverage on that harvest to make sure that we bring the cost of maize meal down. So that is a working project, and I'm sure it will also be very successful as we work with the Ministry of Agriculture and with our with our mother ministry, which is the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, to make that project come to life. This initiative, of course, we did importation. For this particular forum, we are going to be focusing more on our importation of edible oils and distribution with our vast network. Of course, leveraging the network that we have developed over years. Specifically for the Indonesia market, what we are looking to discuss is a B2B partnership for importation of edible oils and leveraging on government food commodities program. Regional distribution of value-added products, and then collaboration on the pilot project for mass market, that's a nozzle packaging, the PIMA project, and the knowledge sharing on distribution and route to market with the Indonesia market, and of course looking at distribution partnerships with the palm oil local industry development. So we will be discussing, I think, in a smaller group with the teams from Indonesia and the business partners, how we can be able to leverage on that. Of course, there's a bigger discussion, and I hope my team, my other stakeholders, that is CALRO, will be coming on board, because we want to also discuss, it's not only about importing, but how do we then develop the local model of palm growing, so that come 2-3 years we will no longer need to import, but we can be able to source locally and then continue packing, and that is likely to bring the cost of edible oils which are consumed in this country much lower. So thank you very much. It was as simple as that. We'll keep engaging, and I hope we'll talk more about it in later forums.
The energy of, let's give an alive clap. You'll get tea soon, hopefully. Thank you very much, Pamela, for the wonderful presentation. I think moving on, we have a lot to say as Kenya. The EPZA team, export processing zones, are here, special economic zones, people from the agri-space, some of the areas that have been mentioned. We'll keep on that. But for now, let us pause and leave the rest of the stories from Kenya and the presentations for later. Let's do all the way to Indonesia, and it's my pleasure to invite Ms. Susan Abaya from Sritex Textile in Indonesia to tell us about that wonderful tech sector. Let's welcome her with a Kenyan thunderous clap. 1, 2, 3. Welcome.
Good morning. Yeah, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really very happy to see faces of the Kenyan people. It's really so hospitable and warm. So thank you for the warm welcome. We are really happy to be here for the first time, especially for Sritex. So allow me to introduce our company. We are a vertically integrated company. So the name of our company is PT Sri Rejeki Isman Tbk, or Sritex. Okay, it's located in Central Java. If you go to Indonesia and you go to Sukoharjo or Solo, you will see a factory in the middle of rice fields. So that's Sritex. It's located in 79 hectares of land, and we employ 50,000 workers. So we feed 50,000 families, more or less. Yeah. So to continue with, so our company was established in August 16, 1966. So we will turn 57 years in next month. So it's a big accomplishment for the company to be one of the vertically integrated company in Southeast Asia. So we do from spinning, weaving, printing, dyeing, and until garments. And we export to different countries, especially for the militaries. We do for 30 countries, and we are in partner of for NATO. So currently we are also doing for Sweden Army. So we also do for the ASEAN countries, most of the ASEAN countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and the rest. And also, I think you can also watch our video so you can enjoy more and know more about the Sritex. Yeah, the sound.
Today, the textile industry is woven into the lives of not only traditional cultures, but also urban ones. It is no longer just a footprint of civilization, but a symbol of affluent culture at the center stage of a fast-growing economy. In the middle of the textile's rapid growth, we stand together to be a part of the movement. Started from Pasar Klewa in a charming city of Solo in central Java, Sritex was established in 1966 by Haji Muhammad Lukminto under the name Uday Sri Rejeki. His vision for the nation's textile industry was born. As a result of his perseverance, in 1980, the company developed into PT Sri Rejekilsman, located in Sukoharjo. With the combination of persistence and innovation, today Sritex is widely known as Southeast Asia's largest and most trusted vertically integrated textile company. The company's integration of producing rayon fiber, spinning, weaving, dyeing, printing, finishing, and garment making has reigned in domestic and international markets of more than 100 countries worldwide. Sritex Group encompasses more than 10 companies and has expanded their business in various areas. The group now employs 50,000 workers nationwide and has a great impact in the local economy. Sritex Group consists of 5 divisions, namely rayon fiber processing, pulp processing to produce textiles, raw material with the capacity of 100,000 tons per year. Spinning with the capacity of 1.5 million spindles. Weaving with the capacity of 700 million meters per year. Dyeing, printing and finishing with the capacity of 700 million meters per year. Garment with the capacity of making 35 million pieces per year. Sritex Group produces military uniforms for more than 30 countries worldwide. Some exciting features include water resistance, anti-infrared, fireproof, insect repelling, and anti-nuclear radiation wear. Sritex has also been chosen to be the official partner of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, to produce military uniforms for its member countries, such as Germany, Sweden, Netherlands, Austria, and Norway. Shritex Group is also working closely with government agencies and corporations to produce government and corporate uniforms. To produce the highest quality of products and to ensure customer satisfaction, our entire production process is carried out with strict supervision and equipped with integrated security system based on international standards. Evolving into the Industrial 4.0, we are proud to have the technologies as the foundation to produce high-quality textile that are energy-saving, eco-friendly and sustainable. With our new investments, Shritex has proven to be one of the most technologically advanced textile companies in the world. We affirm that innovation is the key to success in the textile industry. With the help of our Innovation Centre, we are proud to be able to produce new developments in the world of textiles. The integrated system in Shritex Group contributes to the company's competitive pricing and shorter production time. This strategy has become the foundation of Shritex Group's growth in the past and in the years to come. Ecological protection is the main key to Shritex innovation in waste management and energy conservation. We are committed to improve our waste management technology in accordance with international standards. Human resources are our most valuable asset. We continuously improve to provide proficiency training, competency advancement, and policies to employ people with disabilities, to work with equal pay, as well as other employee welfares. After years of a long and challenging journey, hardships have shaped our dedication to keep striving for the best. Shritex has proven its ability to become the most trusted and the largest textile company in Southeast Asia. This achievement will remain to be our spirit in bringing Indonesia's textiles across the globe and becoming the #1 textile company in the world. Our existence is a part of the great history of Indonesia. Our dedication remains as we will always put forward the spirit of progress for the generations to come. Let us lift the Indonesian flag in every corner of the globe so we can proudly say, Shritex, from Indonesia to the world.
Okay, thank you very much. So, in behalf of the President Commissioner of Shritex Group, Iwan Setiawan Lukminto, and also the President Director of Shritex Group, our CEO, Iwan Kurniawan Lukminto, we would like to thank the people from Nairobi for welcoming us, for giving a chance for Shritex to introduce our company, and we look forward to working with Kenya in the near future, be it we manufacture for you or we also trade a business between Kenya and Indonesia. So also for our other business delegates from Indonesia, we let's give them a warm-up applause also, and good luck to every one of us, and from Indonesia to Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that amazing? We can say wow or we clap, or both. Wow, right? And we can clap as well. I think it's a really the scale is amazing. Vertical integration end to end. Do we have something like that in Kenya? That scale? Nah. In the sector? No. So that's the real importance of this collaboration, that we can see how we can be able to take advantage of it. And thank you really very much. We look forward to as Shritex investment in Kenya in this sector, to work with our friends in Rivertex, the EPZ companies, etc. We look forward to that. I would like then to invite another presentation. This time round is from the pharmaceutical sector, and I think there is it Combifer? Combifer, who's making the presentation on the pharmaceutical sector? We're nearly there. We won't stand between you and so please, Mr. Combifer, please welcome on stage. You can do the presentation on pharmaceutical. Please come. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
Said I take this out? We can give you another one. Stay here, we can be able to see. Okay.
All right. A very good morning, honorable guests, members of the Kenyan government and Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also to Indonesian delegations today. My name is Waitarsa Hendarto. I'm here to represent Combifer Group of companies. We are one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Indonesia. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone and for welcoming and inviting us to this important business meeting. Please allow me to give a very quick overview about what Combifer Group Companies is and our vision, as well as I think how we think we can work together in Kenyan market. So I think before I start introducing about Combifer as a company, allow me to give a quick overview about the pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia. Indonesian pharmaceutical companies, Indonesian pharmaceutical as a total, I think accounts for about 8 to 9 billion US dollars business in Indonesia. And there are about 250 plus, I think, companies. And Combifer is in the top 10 percentile, I think, of that group of the industry market share. In terms of the market or industry landscape in Indonesia is quite different, I think, from the other markets. The local players mainly are the predominant players in the Indonesian pharmaceutical industries. So Combifer, as a group, we've been marketing, distributing, manufacturing for over than 50 plus years in Indonesia. We have about 90 plus brands and I think 200 products I think to offer to domestic market and international markets. We've been starting our international operations I think since 2016. So that's relatively new, but I think within quite a short period of time, I think now we've been exporting to 18 plus I think markets. Combifer offers a wide range of products. So it consists of prescription products, over-the-counter, consumer healthcare. So basically, consumer can buy directly from the pharmacist without the doctor prescription. And I think the last but not least is the health and wellness. So this is the range of products dealing with the supplements on the preventive side, I think, of the health aspect. Right? Move on. Very quickly, I'm not going to go into details, but just to give a quick, I think, key milestone, I think, for Combifer as a group of companies. The company itself is established in a city called Bandung 52 years ago, and it obtains the GMP certification from the Indonesian FDA in 1991. And throughout the years, I think we've been working a lot with the multinational companies, I think, through joint ventures. And one of the key milestones, I think, for the company is in 2014, when the company acquired a global brand from GlaxoSmithKline. And I think that brand is Insto. We built a biosimilar plant in 2015. And another acquisition was made from GSK, and this time around the level is a global acquisition, and this is I think for a trademark over 70 countries in the world. And this brand is called IMO. IMO is an eye drop brand. Okay. So we started our international operations in the Philippines in 2016, and then moving on to the next slides, we went on I think expanding I think to Singapore, Malaysia. And I think along with the brand acquisition, we also acquired a facility, a production facility from GSK. And just in the recent years, the company moving on with acquiring another two big companies. One is called Air Mancur, which is I think about 70 plus years I think of experience in the herbal products. And I think one of the reasons, move backward please. Yes. So this is our leadership team. So I'm pleased to represent the board of directors. I think before you, our president director is Mr. Michael Wanadi. He is I think one of the leaders in the industry on the pharmaceutical industry. Moving on, please. Next slide. So in a nutshell, we have 7 factories in 5 locations. So this consists of pharmaceutical facilities. We also have the herbal production site and one of the food productions because the company ventured into a healthy food products with the cereals called Simba. I know Simba means something here in Swahili. It's a lion. So it is there, and the facilities has been certified GMP, the TGA accreditation. So I think we are there in terms of the quality and service. As a company, we've been working very closely globally. So we work with over 24 business partners across the world. So that includes some of the companies from European companies, Asian companies, and so on. So we look forward, I think, to extending more, I think, of the Kenyan companies, I think, into our list as well. Moving on. So just a quick recap. So we have about 90 plus brands in the world, and 90 plus brands in our portfolio, 200 products because we have different types of size and so on. But basically, it falls under 3 groups of products. One is the prescription. We have the consumer healthcare or OTC, and last but not least is the health and wellness products. Yeah. Moving on. So these are the key products highlights that we carry. OBH Kombi is a very famous cough syrup brand. It's a #1 brand in Indonesia. It's as old as the company itself. It's been I think more than 50 years in Indonesia. And then we have IMO. IMO is an eye drop brand. This is the global brand we acquired from GSK. Currently, this is a #1 brand in the Philippines, Singapore, #2 in Malaysia, and we are #3 now in the Mexico country. So next one is the Air Mancur. This is the Indonesian herbal. It's an extract. Mostly it's will be brewed with hot water, and it's consumed I think with multiple benefits, health benefits. Moving on, please. And the last 2 product highlights I'd like to mention. The one is Madu Rasa. This is a pure honey products. Currently, we've been exporting this to several countries, including Africa, Nigeria, Togo, and so on. I think will be one of the big market for us right now. And this is the product I mentioned earlier. It's Simba. It's a cereal product. It's a healthy cereal product. Can be consumed during breakfast and for snacking as well in the afternoon. Just quickly, the company has been putting a lot of focus on the quality, safety, and efficacy. So we've been receiving, I think, some of the accolades, I think, from the international and I think domestic, awards. Moving on, and I'm coming to my last 2 slides. But basically, in terms of our international operations, we've been now operating in 18 countries. So you see, some of these are in Asia, in Latin America, and Africa. We are now in Nigeria, Togo, and Gabon. So we look forward, I think, for partners that can help us, I think, to work together, I think, to tap into the Kenyan market, obviously. We've been very active in some of participation of the international exhibition and so on, and just pleased to share with you some of the pictures. And that's pretty much about it. So thank you very much. Asante.
Thank you very much for the CombiFA presentation. Really huge potential in the pharma sector and beyond. And we look forward to getting to see during the B2B what outcomes we can have with CombiFA and the Kenyan enterprise that are present here today. We will get on to our last presentation from the Indonesia side, and then we can be advised if the ministers are here. I'm advised if they are here, we may just skip tea, get on with it, and then we do tea and lunch together. But don't worry, I will consult you very well. Yeah? And then we can see whether it's a unilateral decision or we negotiate, yeah? But hopefully, because of our guests, we'll ensure we have a balance. So the final presentation from the Singaporean side is Pindad. Indonesia, sorry guys. From the Indonesian side is Pindad. So let's put our hands together for Pindad. I think it's in the security space. So welcome, take the floor.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to introduce our company. My name is Akbar Abdi from PT Pindad Indonesia. I will present to you for introduce our company. Our company is PT Pindad. We in field of the defense and security product, also the industrial product. We state-owned enterprise in Indonesia. Yeah, next slide. Now PT Pindad is become the Defense ID, the holding company. We consist 5 companies. Land industry for the electronic system, Dahana for the energetic material, PTDI for the aerospace platform, PT PAL for the naval ship building, and PT Pindad specialist for the land platform, weapon ammunition, and heavy equipment. Next. PT Pindad have long history. We from the 1808 under the Dutch government, and in 2022 we become the under defense holding defense ID. We have 2 locations in Bandung, West Java, and also for the ammunition in East Java, Malang. We have 2 main business in defense and security product, also the industrial product. Next. I will introduce to you for the spare product for the weapon. We have the assault rifle, yeah, for handgun or pistol. Okay, machine gun, sniper, mortar launcher, weapon system, and also submachine gun. Yes, next. We also have capabilities to make manufacturing the small caliber ammunition from the 5.56. Keeping operation for the supply country in Africa, like the Sudan, Republic of Central Africa, operation in Congo, also the Lebanon. Next. Also, PT Pindad not only manufacturing the defense and security product, but also industrial product. As I know, also the Kenya also have product for the national development for the construction or the agriculture equipment. PT Pindad also have the excavator variant for the 20 ton, 8 ton, also the amphibious. And we have some heavy equipment to support you for the agriculture equipment and maybe for the fertilizer for the gas or gasoline in the rural area. Also, PT Pindad have capability for the mining service, for the drilling and blasting. And also PT Pindad have capability to the transportation infrastructure. I think that's it. If you have some question, you can contact me. If you have, maybe you can contact also the Indonesian Embassy to know more about our company. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am sure all we can remember about that presentation, especially for Kenya, is on the agricultural products, especially the heavy, the one for farming and mining, those heavy duty. The other ones before, in Africa, we will have to take you to a closed room somewhere. We understand the diversity and whatever, but it's very, very good potential, especially for agricultural sector, mining sector, etc. But very well done for Pindad. We appreciate it. It's been an eye-opener. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a very heavy round of applause to the Indonesian presentations. All the people at the back from row 1 to 5 at the back, please, you can clap as well. I can see everybody, you're not clapping. Very good. I am reliably informed that the principals of this session, the ministers, are here. They will be with us shortly, so we will have to defer your very well anticipated snack time. But because I remember I extended the time in the morning for coffee, tea, and snacks, we'll just have some interludes in the intervening period. Please stay put in the room. We will be closing the door so that none of you leave through the back unless there's an emergency, which we do not anticipate. But let us give ourselves another few minutes, and then we'll usher in the ministers, and then we can get into the formal opening ceremony. But it's been a wonderful time listening to the presentation. It's been a real pleasure. You can continue to whisper and murmur in low tones amongst yourselves, but keep your eye on the screen. If anything changes or someone comes on the voiceover, we can be there. The Indonesian team, you've been wonderful guests. We hope you're enjoying it, and we hope at the B2B session we can go on to the next engagements. Thank you very much. You can also clap for me for entertaining you a bit. Thank you very much. So we'll take some interlude, and then we'll wait. In a few minutes, we'll be starting the formal session. One final point I forgot, the CEO of Geothermal Development Corporation, Mr. Ngugi, you can just
Thank you. The Kenyan team, we are challenged. I am, maybe be seated. I'm challenged to repeat the national anthem. Your Excellencies, the Cabinet Secretaries here present, may we have a word of prayer from Anne?
Let us pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we are grateful for gathering us this afternoon as we deliberate on matters investments in collaborations and partnerships between Indonesia and our nation, Kenya. We declare your presence in this meeting. As it is in heaven now, we declare social aid be here on earth for the mutual benefit of our nations. May the G2Gs and the B2Bs deliberations bring you honor and glory. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, Cabinet Secretaries here present, Principal Secretaries, Chairmen, CEOs, the private sector, all protocols observed, a very good afternoon. This is the business session, the official opening ceremony of the session that started this morning at 9 a.m., where we had a chance to have opportunities presented by the Kenyan business community and the state organizations that are supporting and facilitating trade and investment. We also had an opportunity to receive presentation from the Indonesian companies who are here present to highlight some of the opportunities that they are looking for. And we are now having the official opening of this session by our ministers. So thank you and welcome all of us. Without further ado, I would like to invite the President of the Kenya National Chamber. I'll give him 1 minute to say something, followed by the Chair of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance.
Thank you very much. And for the moderator, I know you said 1 minute and we are business people, so I'll stick to that. I know time is money and I don't want to pay a lot. So Cabinet Secretaries for Trade, Moses Kuria, and your colleague from Indonesia, the Cabinet Secretaries, Permanent Secretaries, Your Excellencies, and the business delegates. Good morning. It is indeed, as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, we are very happy to be here today with our members from various sectors. We have our members in the export industry in terms of coffee and tea. We have one of the largest businesses in terms of meat export, which I know there are some signings that's going to happen today. So these are going to be benefits for members. In terms of our relationship between the business community for Indonesia and Kenya, we know that it has been happening, but we formalized in 2022 March, where Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we did sign a memorandum of understanding in terms of sharing business intelligence information for purposes of trading and investments. And up to that, we have had one business delegation to Indonesia, and from Indonesia, we have had two business delegations, which had been supported by both Excellencies, Dr. Sarapudin, and your predecessor, Ambassador Galma. We have had very fruitful engagements. So in terms of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we would like to access the Indonesian market, especially our traders who are in coffee, in tea, in spices, raw hides, vegetables, and tobacco. We are also importing, of course, definitely palm oils, pepper and pepper both products. And I know Kenya, we are going to be very strong in that. We want to invite Indonesian companies, especially in the pepper manufacturing industry, in the chemical production, and electrical and motor vehicle industry. However, from the observation of the statistics, is that I know it has been mentioned several times here, but I want to say that of the total export to the world, Indonesia only exports 0.07% to Kenya, and Kenya exports 0.013%. So the trade volume definitely is very low between the two countries, despite even looking at the trade volumes. And for Indonesia, it has been dropping from 2020 up to 2022. So for the delegates, business delegates, you have to look into that. And for Kenya, definitely it has been very low. So we want to see how we can access those markets. Finally, I would want to urge that Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the business delegates who are here, that we are ready to be able to process the opportunities that are going to be signed here today, so that we can be able to offer promotion and facilitation services. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chamber President. Today we have over 80 businesses from Kenya who've come to meet with their counterpart from Indonesia, and we appreciate that. I would now like to invite the chairman of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance to also take 0.01 seconds.
Thank you very much, and all protocols observed in the interest of time. Your Excellency, welcome to Kenya. We're very happy to see you here in this part of the world. And yes, we know that we have to learn a lot from you. $1.2 trillion economy size, it is like 10 times bigger than Kenya. Your population is 5 times bigger than Kenya. But there's a lot of learning from your presentation this morning, from what we saw and what you have transformed and how you have got from a 40% reliance of your GDP to debt into surplus economy is really commendable. So we as Kenyans are very happy. We want to partner with you. On average, our exports have been about $10 million to Indonesia. Your exports on average over the last 10 years have been $500 million in your favor. So the balance of trade is largely in your favor. We hope with the investments that you are going to be doing together in Kenya, it will benefit both Indonesia and Kenya. And of course, the huge opportunity that we have in partnerships that we will create between the joint ventures that we are going to sign with the Indonesian companies is very commendable. So as the chair of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, I would like to welcome you. I would like to welcome the entire Indonesian business community that is here, and that together we will do it, and yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to hand over the rest of the session to the Principal Secretary, Investments, to also introduce the PSS here present, the CEOs, and our distinguished guests, and to invite the Minister.
Thank you very much, John. Indonesian business community and senior government official led by Coordinating Minister, Your Excellency Honorable Ruth Misal, the Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investment. Kenyan business community and senior government officials led by Honorable Moses Kuria, Cabinet Secretary, Investment, Trade and Industry. Ambassadors present, Principal Secretaries present, CEOs present. I forgot to Honorable Salim Mvurya, Cabinet Secretary for Maritime Affairs, and Honorable Davis Chirchir, Cabinet Secretary for Energy. PSS present, CEOs present, Selamat Datan. Did I get it correct? Your Excellency, I've been reliably informed that your business community has been put up to speed on our investment climate, on our investment incentives, and our investment grade opportunities in our priority sectors and value chain. They have always been taken through our investment facilitation through the Kenya Investment Authority, where now we are moving away from one-stop to one-start and one-stop center with an appeal mechanism to the National Investment Council chaired by the President. I'm also informed that they have been reliably taught about our investment enabling mechanism through co-investment, through public-private partnership, and through our special economic zones and export processing zone. Your Excellency, your business community, they now know the Kenyan investment needs.
and the Kenya investment potential. And the Kenyan business community, they now know your business community interest and capacity. It's indeed a galvanizing moment where Kenya investment opportunities and challenges, they are meeting the Indonesian investment solution. It's a turning point in our country so that we can have mutual benefit and shared economic prosperity. With those few remarks, it's my honor to invite the Honorable Salim Mvurya, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Maritime Affairs. Sorry, we are going to reverse this. Let me introduce the CS for Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria to take charge.
Thank you very much, P.S. Abubakar. My brother, Minister Ruhut, Cabinet Minister for Coordinating Minister for Investment and Maritime Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, my cabinet colleagues, Salim Buria and Davis Chilchil for Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs and Energy, respectively, Principal Secretaries present, CEOs and Chairman of our state corporations, private sector from both Kenya and Indonesia. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure today to receive this very esteemed delegation from the Republic of Indonesia, and we are very delighted, Minister. You are here in January, and now you are here again. In between, I was privileged to visit your country in May and to take forward the discussion on behalf of my colleagues who are here of the several areas of cooperation that we are looking at. This visit is very important because it's coming shortly before the expected visit, inshallah, of President Widodo, who is coming here in the month of August to crown all the very important discussions that you're having. So our cooperation is very practical, very pragmatic, and it is premised on our desire, mutual desire for South-to-South cooperation. I do not see this as a cooperation on investment. I see it as a people-to-people, business-to-business, and government-to-government. There is so much to learn from each other. So before I proceed, let me now take this opportunity first to invite, I don't know if there is somebody from Kadini. Yes, sorry, I think there was an oversight. We heard from the KEPSA and the Kenya Chamber of Commerce, who are the private sector organization of Kenya. And I am considering a dual nationality with Indonesia. So do not put me into problem with my countrymen and women. So let me take this opportunity to invite Kadin, which is the Chamber of Commerce, just to make some few remarks on behalf of the private sector from Indonesia. Please, welcome.
Thank you, Excellency. My name is Yuan Permatadu. I'm the Vice Chairman for Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry for Trade. So last time when Excellency visited Indonesia, we are having a good discussion and we are having a same interest. Now Indonesia is under 7 commodity. We are exporting, increasing every year, and now we want to increase our market to Africa. So also we want to go with our ecosystem in the food security. So why we are looking partner to supply our food security resources on the livestock and the beef, and also some products for joining within Indonesia and Kenya. I hope this meeting will be having good discussion and decision, and I need your support, Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I invite my cabinet colleagues, I want to invite a very special lady. I have been advised that she is 23rd most influential woman in the world. And I am the 50,000th most influential man in the world. So there's something in common. But this lady is the chief executive officer of Paltamina. Paltamina is a Fortune 500 company. I don't know number. 123 largest company in Fortune 500 companies, with a market capitalization of $90 billion. For those who do not know what that means, it is 75% of Kenya's GDP. So she can own 75% of all of you who are here today. And she's a woman, and she's the CEO of this organization, and she's going to tell you the good news of what that company is going to do for Kenya. Welcome, madam. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. So, I'm very pleased to be here and giving a time to share some business collaboration opportunity that maybe we can engage together. So, learning from Indonesia, if we are talking about the energy sector, before 2002, we are net exporter country. But maybe there is something that we have to learn here. When we are in the good position, we have to meet and secure the energy security in our country first. Then it have to be push forward, not just energy security, but also energy independency. It's very important. And now we are trying to strengthening our energy transition as well as energy security. So what we have to propose to Kenya government and also the industry, we have to establish and develop the integrated energy sector, starting from upstream, midstream, and downstream. We know that, we understand that there is still discussion whether we're building the refinery or building the pipeline. But one thing, not just energy security, but we also have to develop the manufacturing, the industry, to increase the employment and also to increase the national industry. Multiplier effect is very important. So what our government have been doing now is develop the industrialization, downstreaming, based on our natural resources. So we unleash our domestic resources to increase, to strengthening, to achieve energy security as well as economic growth and also employment. So not just the energy security, but if we are talking a global energy transition, we also have to concern about the reducing carbon emission. You are blessed with a huge potential of renewable energy. Same with Indonesia. So let's develop together based on your expertise, your resources, your potential together with Indonesia, and we are both country that now still developing country will be move forward upgrading our situation and economic growth to be more on developed country. Thank you.
For your information, the 23rd most influential woman in the world is leading a company that has committed to invest Kenya shillings 400 billion in this country. That is $2.5 billion. I said last year that when I was appointed that we are going to make it to 10 billion. I hope we are ticking somewhere just by the offer to be ticking. So quarter of my target has just been achieved by the one. And so we are on that race, and it is a good day. It's a good day. It's a good week for us, you know. This morning, I just happened to have been finishing a meeting with the Saudi Minister for Investment, who was in this room yesterday, and we had a good chat with my brother Minister from Indonesia, and to see this South-to-South cooperation. There's some interesting statistics about optimism for business that Minister Hood has shared with us this morning. And that is, he shared with us a survey not done by Kenya or by Indonesia, by international organization, that right now, the country which is having the highest optimism for business and investment is Kenya. And wonder of wonders, number 2 on that list is Indonesia. So number 1 meets number 2. And actually, I think Indonesia was number 1. But because of our athletics, we ran. Eliud Kipchoge was right there. And because no human is limited, we were able to pass Indonesia. But today we are very happy to have number 1, number 2. Part of that investment is, as you've heard, is on energy, our energy sector, from both petroleum, renewable energy, geothermal, the transition to clean energy, electric vehicle mobility, and because that's a very important topic for us, let me take this opportunity now to invite my colleague, my brother, the Minister for Energy, the Honorable David Chilchil, to make his remarks. Welcome, Honorable.
Minister Luhut, Minister from Indonesia, welcome again to Kenya with your entire team. We've had a good meeting this morning. Let me acknowledge everybody in the house and say good afternoon. Good afternoon. We've had a great session with the team from Indonesia led by Minister Luhut, who, like my colleague said, was here in January. And it's great to have you again, and welcome. Thank you, my colleague Moses, for bringing the business community, who basically bridges and helps government to facilitate investments in our country when we have got great investors in a country who is leading the way, like Indonesia. In the energy sector, like has been mentioned, we're learning quite a bit from Indonesia because of companies like Pertamina, who have, I think, under their armpit is some 1.5 gigawatts of geothermal, is that correct? 1.8 gigawatts. And we do know that in Kenya today, we equally, because of lack of other natural resources, for a while have developed geothermal. We are touching about 1,000 megawatts today, about 48% of our energy mix. And that is what drives the industry. Can Invest, as a business community, seeks to bridge and work with the global firms to basically accelerate the development of this country. And we need to provide energy that basically gives a cost advantage to industry to be that attractive investment. Geothermal being green, and today we do know that we dispatch geothermal in this country at about 7 cents US to the grid. I need to check the numbers in Indonesia, but at the moment we've developed an MOU. We'll be working with Pertamina together with Mazda to see how to accelerate our geothermal resource, which, like I said, dispatches at 7 cents US. And you do know that the renewable energy in solar and wind is great, but it demands a PPA that seeks that is on a take-or-pay principle, take-or-pay. And then in disregard of the cost, it then comes on the order of merit or order of economic dispatch ahead of geothermal, which is much cheaper. So we'll be working together with Pertamina and Mazda, of course, courtesy of the government of Indonesia, to accelerate this green energy, very cost effective, and that can help us to drive industry, because one of the biggest challenges in industry today is the cost of doing business. And conscious of that, if we're able to move quickly and accelerate our geothermal development, we should be able to bring down the cost of power and ensure that industry is competitive. We are able to attract these global firms as an investment destination that basically seeks to manufacture for the entire world. So welcome Indonesia. I know we are doing other things. We've talked about the petroleum sector, be it a refinery or a pipeline. At the moment, for our asset resource in Turkana, we are at the field development phase. We're looking at the economics of technical viability and commercial viability of going from exploration to commercializing our assets. And as we take this field development plan report to Parliament for approval, we'll see more opportunity on whether is it a refinery or is it a pipeline. But we are happy to work together. Like Moses has said, as Kenya being one of the #1 investment destination followed by Indonesia, I think it appears nature is bringing us together to be able, fate is bringing us together to work together. We do also know that the other area that we need to work very closely together is on the edible oils. And we are aware that we have KPRL 300 acres just by the port in Mombasa, and we'll be looking for opportunities to see why shouldn't we be refining the edible oils out of Mombasa for the region as an investment destination. So for Ken Invest, there are great opportunities, and I'm happy that we are able to have this session together to be able to pick some of these opportunities and take them forward together. Thank you, Moses, for this great opportunity. Thank you for the great work you're doing. Asante. Thank you.
Thank you, Davis. For those who don't know, Indonesia is #1 in terms of nickel resources in the whole world. And it is top 10 in at least 5-6 other minerals, including tin, iron ore, cobalt also, I think, top 10. Indonesia also is all about land, sea. It is completely 17,500 islands, different islands. So the issue of maritime, actually, I don't know how you can call a Ministry of Maritime, because the entire Indonesia is maritime. It's an exact Ministry of Indonesia, because the entire country is maritime. Us also here, we may not have a very much developed mining sector or maritime sector, but the potential is very big. That is why for the first time now, we have got a dedicated ministry for mining, blue economy and maritime affairs. And now it is my esteemed pleasure to invite the Minister of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs. Blue Economy has got an award which I think came from Indonesia. It's called Samawati. That sounds Indonesian. So welcome, Indonesian Minister.
Samawati. Okay. Thank you very much, my colleague Moses, and you're very hilarious in terms of your introduction. Minister Luhut and the entire delegation from Indonesia, my colleague Davis Chirchir, all the principal secretaries, high-powered delegations, and business leaders, good afternoon. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank my colleague for the invitation and the engagements that we have had since morning with Saudi Arabia and now with Indonesia. And of course, all this is happening because His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, has created an enabling environment where business to business, government to government discussions can be successful. And this is not just for discussion, but I think it is the plan, the Kenya Kwanza plan, which has a lot of clarity that we need to create jobs and revenues for our country and basically also lift those who are at the bottom of the pyramid by focusing on the bottom economic transformation agenda. And it is for this reason that mining, blue economy, and maritime affairs becomes a key facilitator and a key ingredient for our economic inspiration. For a long time in this country, mining has not received the required attention. But I think from the discussions that we have had, mining is very, very critical in economic development. And that is why as government and as a ministry, we have been able to focus more on how we can create a foundation that can see an economic takeoff and wealth creation through minerals. And in that regard, we have learned from our colleagues from Indonesia. I think they have been focusing more on value addition. They look at the mineral from mining to the product. And I think that is where nickel has been very instrumental in uplifting the economic status of Indonesia. In Kenya, we have begun a very promising journey to make sure that we inspire the sector. We've just concluded our geophysical survey. We've done 95% of it. And right now we are in the final phases of concluding the rest of the country. But from the 95% already, we have been able to identify 970 mineral occurrences across the country. And now we have embarked on ground truthing, as well as looking at how we can be able to develop an online application which can manage the licensing. So I think Kenya in the next few years will also be a giant in terms of the mineral economy. And one of the discussions that is happening globally is the discussion on green energy transition minerals. And I want to assure everyone here that Kenya is also home to energy transition minerals. We have rare earth elements. We also have manganese. We have cobalt. We have chromite. And right now what we are doing is basically to do ground truthing so that we can confirm their economic value. We are also home to titanium. Part of it has already been invested, but we also have other traces across the country which we should be able to embark. I know mining is a heavy capital investment, but that is where also economies can thrive. So I think we are really looking forward to working with you, the business community, the government in Indonesia, so that we can spur our mineral economy in this country. On blue economy, Kenya is also endowed with the Indian Ocean. We also have lakes, we have rivers. And what we have identified here is that we have medium investments and also high investment. For example, in the exclusive economic zone, we have an opportunity for industrial fishing, which I'm sure Indonesia has a lot of experience in that, and the business community is also invited to work with us in that. But we also have opportunity in small ports development across the Indian Ocean, but also in the lakes. So I think at that point we'll be ready to discuss with you and see how we can also parade our opportunities. And of course, the special economic zone in Mombasa is also a good potential for blue economy investment. Moses, we can leave maritime because I think Minister Luhut is very key in that. Kenya has 2 shipyards currently. We have one in Mombasa and one in Kisumu. And our dream is basically to make sure that we are able to upgrade the shipyard so that we can do dry docking and basic maintenance of vessels. I think talking to the private sector in that particular item of vessels, you find that right now, if you are doing activities in the Indian Ocean, when it comes to dry docking, you have either to go to Dubai or Durban, And I think Kenya, we have an opportunity through the shipyards in Mombasa and Kisumu to have the private sector investing so that then we can cut costs because on average it can cost around 30 million to fuel a vessel from our exclusive zone to go and do maintenance in Dubai, which takes around 10 days. So if we are able to do that investment in Mombasa, and we already have the shipyard, then it will be possible to encourage even many more vessels, not just fishing vessels, but other commercial vessels that can also make the service in our country. So I think there is much more. We have a whole pool of seafarers, which I think we can also be working together. As you know, Kenya has a very robust human resource with good skills and capacity. And right now, through our institutions, we are trying to upgrade our seafarers. So I think through your shipping lines, we can be able to partner so that we can have many Kenyans also being employed in your shipping lines in your country. So I think briefly, that's what I can say. But I think the most important thing is that this discussion is a forum which is really an eye-opener for all of us, and we should take advantage so that we can benefit the citizens of both countries through investments. Thank you very much, Moses, and all of you. God bless you. Thank you.
You know, our cabinet is very balanced. It has got Salim Vuria, who is very well soft-spoken. Then it has me, but anyway. That's a story for another day. We need all that. I want to also recognize the principal secretaries present. They have done a very great job to make this day happen. Our principal secretary for tourism, John Orotua, is here. Very happy with the growing tourism between Kenya and Saudi Arabia, Kenya and Indonesia. We have our principal secretary for Blue Economy, Betsy Mudhoni Njagi, who is here with us today. Our principal secretary for Crops Development in the Ministry of Agriculture is here with us, Mr. Kero Halsama. Our principal secretary, Elijah Mwangi, in the State Department of Mining, is here with us today. And of course, my able principal secretary for investment, Abubakar Hassan Abubakar, who is with us here today. Let me also say that going forward, we were here yesterday with the cabinet secretary for labor, Florence Bore. You are going to see us as cabinet, as government, working together, pulling together, whole of government approach. No handoffs, no Chinese walls. And I think Minister Luhut, let me thank you, because we have learned a lot from Indonesia in the way you coordinate your different ministers and sectors, and we are trying to learn from you. You can see we are on the way, we are getting there in terms of getting, and it's really getting much better. I know there has been several discussions between the private sectors in both Kenya and Indonesia. We have got one gentleman just wanting to stand and wave from the textile sector. Why is he is moving here to set up the EPZ, and the CEO of EPZ Authority, Hussein, is here. Within the next 30 days, he's going to have 5,000 jobs created within EPZ for the textile. So this is not a theory. This is practice. This is the work that is happening, investment that are happening. We have discussions, as you heard from Partamina, both on petroleum and on geothermal. The geothermal partnership is very interesting because it brings together 3 countries, Kenya, Indonesia, and UAE, working together. I was just telling my counterpart from Saudi Arabia, the Minister for Investment, that Saudi Arabia is a member of OPEC. OPEC stands for Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. And we are going to have our climate summit here in September for African countries. we want to start navigating and asking ourselves, maybe we can form OGEC, Organization of Green Exporting Countries. Yeah? Because if other people sit down to determine how much they sell to us, their petroleum, why can't we sit together and determine how much we should sell to them our green energy? So welcome to the world of OPEC and OGEC, led by Kenya and Indonesia. And the Minister for Saudi Arabia has promised that there's not going to be any hard feelings on that. On the issue of edible oils, again, I know we have got companies here, several companies from Indonesia, to help us to see how can we be able to have a complete value chain on edible oils. Kenya has the potential to be self-sufficient in edible oils. And Indonesia is a unique country. Indonesia has an option of just exporting to us a finished product of edible oil. But Indonesia has said they want investment with some conscience. That is why they are going to work with us and help us, not just in selling to us palm oil, edible oil, which they can if they want, but to really work with us in farming, to support our farmers, increase the incomes, have our own refinery for the palm oil. That is a discussion I have. And I'm saying this because away from Indonesia, we've been having this conversation. Now you can maybe start to understand what I'm talking about. We cannot continue just becoming a point for a flashpoint for imported edible oils. We can do it ourselves here. And no matter how much stones are thrown out there, no matter what, but I will never relent. And let this be a message to those people. Why I am cocky and why I am sort of arrogant on this issue of edible oils is because I have options and I have a better option. And that option is partners who are going to help us to support our farmers and to work on the complete value chain. You've heard Indonesia stopped exporting raw minerals a long time ago, and their GDP has risen tremendously. So that is really what we want to replicate here and on our minerals, on our agriculture, through our agriculture consolidation and aggregation and value addition and agro-processing. We will learn from Indonesia on how to do that. So we also are working together on electric mobility. As you know, the President has announced that we are launching our national e-mobility program in September alongside the Africa Climate Summit. So we are happy to work with a country who, some few years ago, Indonesia was in the same level as we are. Today, the economy of Indonesia is 10 times the one of Kenya, with only 5 times the population. So using this model of South to South cooperation within the countries of the Global South, we have a lot to learn together. We are going to work together. All we are asking, we are not against anyone. We are not against the West. We are not against the East. All we want is to have mutual respect and mutually beneficial partnership between all the sovereign countries of the world. So with those few remarks, let me take this opportunity and honor and privilege to invite my counterpart and my colleague, my brother, the Coordinating Minister for Investment and Maritime Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Minister Luhut, to come and address and open this forum.
Mr. Moses, thank you very much for a very beautiful introduction, and also my friend Minister Davis and Minister Salim, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to be here today, and I look at Africa as a developing country like Indonesia. If we establish good collaboration, I think we can move together for better than what we have today. If we look at Indonesia, this is the size of Indonesia. Indonesia consists of 17,500 islands. Our population 282 million, and we are rich with this mineral. And we have also 437 gigawatt of renewable energy potential. And if we look at also very quick about this island, 7 hours flying time from the eastern part of Indonesia and to the western part of Indonesia. This is the size of Indonesia. And if you look at also our economy, we grew last year 5%, but this year I think we can grow like 5.3 to 5.4%. Next slide, if I may. And also our debt is considered low. Inflation also, I believe this year is going to be around 3.789%. This is, I think, the inflation. So we are doing this. I'll show you that how important the downstreaming industry, how important also decarbonize, and how important also about digitalize within the government. Inflation also, this next slide, you can have a look. This one, and look at also the last 8 years on the left, on the right, sorry, looks very, very, very good, but a little bit up because of the COVID. And then approval rating of my president is very high because of the lead by example. This is, I think, very important to the leadership of the country. So when the president gives a good example to the people, no business within the government, that also creates something that people trust him very much. That's why if you look at the approval rating, 82%, while his term, another 1.5 years to go. This is Indonesia is ranked second on the list behind Kenya. So you have to be proud to be a Kenyan. This is by international. So this is not by design. This is the international Edelman Trust Barometer 2023. So then collaboration is very important. You have a very, very, very strong position today that we can move together in the near future with the good leadership in your country. And there are 6 pillars basically to our economy. This is industrialization, digitalization, interconnection. This is I think communication, connectivities and others, and also about the economic distribution and decarbonization. Decarbonization in Indonesia, one of the largest decarbonization program, and we're part of the maybe the one of very successful on the JETP, Just Energy Transition Program. Now, if you look at this one, also economic transformation is required. We are very quick to this one. It used to be we just export this ore on the left, but then now we are already here, but about here now. So you can see the difference about our economy because of that only one item here, and also because of efficiency. I can share to you because of digitalization. Last year our tax hiked like 47.8%, and we believe our tax revenue this year going to be hiked maybe around 70 or even higher than that. Next year we're going to build EV and lithium battery, so then you can see the export going to be even bigger than that. Now, since the export ban was forced, China is main importer this one. Let me move forward. Now, the next slide, the immediate result. You can look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. 2014, our export only around $2 billion. That's the dirt. That's the ore only. But then 22nd last year, it was $33 billion. So you see the difference, more than 10 times. So it happened in Indonesia, could happen also here. Why not? What's the difference, Kenya and Indonesia? What's the difference? As long as we have right and dare to say, hey, we like also to reduce poverty, we like to see also equality, we like to see also our country to be high income country and to be developed country one day. If we have the right, if we have the spirit of that we can do it. If we don't have a spirit, just listen to the developed country dictate us like this, we're gonna be like this and colonized like few hundred years ago. Indonesia colonized 350 years by the Dutch. Enough is enough. It's about time for us also to say our right. So this is, I think, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing now in Indonesia. I'd like also to share this experience. I was in South Africa 2 days ago and also in DRC yesterday. I shared this also to the President Cyril and also to the President Felix and also to the cabinet member of their country. I said, look, if we establish collaboration, South-South collaboration, then we can do even better in the near future. And I look at also Kenya has a very big potential to be, high-income country not very long from now. And we build the ecosystem. This is next slide. This is one ecosystem. We are not building one industry, but we build the ecosystem. We have the a lot of green energy. 2032, I think in Europe they can import only with the green product. Yeah, I think Kenya very advanced than Indonesia. You have, I think, 82% green energy. Indonesia is still lower than that. And I believe we have to push together. So then, if they don't like, fine, we can trade among us. Because by 2030, I believe Africa continent going to be around 1.6 or 1.8 billion population. Don't look at to the north. Look at in south-south. We can do a lot together, you know. It doesn't mean that against any country, no. But we have right also to tell, we have to move to be a high-income country, and hopefully in the near future, we can go 2-3 decades from now to be a developed country. Now this is there are more downstream potential that I show you, that we can do it together. Look at on the right side, the red dot. This is an iron steel. Just from the iron steels, how many industries that you can develop? Now we are doing this. Been working very hard for some time. So if we can do it in Indonesia, we can do it also here in Kenya or Africa. Next slide, contribution higher per regional, and that 15 slide, number 15. The poor population, next slide. This one, you see decline. The poor population in Indonesia decline, the poverty also decline, and the gap between the have and the have not also decline. So ladies and gentlemen, the impact of this to a lot. So it's again, the very important is lead by example. Any level, from the president to the minister to the any level of the administration. If you're doing this one, well, it's gonna be okay, gonna be fine. I'm not saying that no more corruption. When you don't see any corruption, you go to heaven. When still on earth, inefficiency, I said inefficiency still exists. Now, export performance nickel downstream, look at this one. Because of this impact toward our economy, the last 38 months, consecutive months, we always surplus. On the left, on the same, in the middle, look at the trade balance with China. How many countries like Indonesia? We surplus the last 2 years, before negative. Let me ask you now, look at me, how many? America trade deficit with China, maybe $300 billion, not very much. Only $300 billion. You know. So let's make they are shaky on that. Look at the right side also. Current account used to be negative. The last 2 years we are surplus. Why it happened? Because efficiency, digitalized, and also lead by example. That's, ladies and gentlemen, we can do it in Indonesia, you can do it also here. I'm not saying Indonesia is the best, no. Indonesia is still also learning. We have to exchange, we learn to each other. I learn a lot from Kenya. For instance, like, you know, the green energy. Kenya already ahead of Indonesia. We have to learn from Kenya. Now this is the government embraces the digitalization to provide public service. This is, I think, very important. Transparent, reliable, efficient, and accurate. That's, I think, very important to govern one country. That's my opinion. I'm not young anymore. I'm 76 years old. Yeah. So I'm doing this to, you know, to contribute to my country, to the people of Indonesia. So if we can do it together, we have a good teamwork. Yeah, we can do it. If we don't have a good teamwork, not going to happen. So believe me, you're not going to see the perfect thing. No perfect family, no also perfect country. Every country has their own problem. But don't create another problem. Like Indonesia, I said, we have enough territory, we have enough problem, we don't want to add another problem, we just want to solve our internal problem. These are the village funds that I think we've been discussed a lot with Minister Moses in Indonesia, that we can share with all of you. Then, if this happened in Indonesia, we have 74,000 villages around the country. So Mr. Muhammad understand about this. This is small things, but very big thing. Because this is a part of the equality. This is a part of the care to the people in the villages. Otherwise, the villagers, they don't know what's going on. Right now, the president directly gave like $100,000 per village. We have 74,000 villages around the country. So I don't know how many villages do you have, but if you can contribute this state budget, you can see the economy can move up together. That's all I think my presentation to all of you, and I'll finalize the Pertamina, the CEO of Pertamina. She will invest, I think the Pertamina plan to invest like $2.5 billion for oil refinery. We hope that we can finalize this deal. And we have also the textile industry, money, stand up again, this one, and he will invest also 5,000 jobs in 5,000 jobs, not 26,000 jobs, because he employed 26,000 people in Indonesia. Don't overpass Indonesia, said. But he will do it in Mumbai, and also about the beef industry. Where's Kadin? Yuan? Yeah, okay. Yuan will also be going to begin to import beef and also live cattle from this country. Besides, yeah, there's I think I don't know 20,000 live cattle maybe we plan to do so, and then we have also wings. Where is the wing? Yeah, this is the wrap of wing. We're going to increase number of wing present here, and we export 3.5 million ton of palm oil to Europe. But Europe sometimes, sorry to say, maybe very annoying, you know. It's like, hey, why do this and that? I said, okay, maybe we're going to reduce the export to Europe. And the European Union Parliament came to me. He said, why? I said, well, we are very busy with this. I would like maybe to divert some of to Africa. So we have planned to do gradually maybe 1.5 million ton of palm oil to process in Africa. We look for Kenya as a hub that we can have a plan here, like Minister Moses explained. The others, ladies and gentlemen, we have also the armed forces, maybe defense industry that could establish collaboration. That's, I think, my remark in this morning. And again, thank you very much for the very warm welcome last night or this morning, 2:30 in the morning with Minister Moses at the airport. I think it's very touchy that you see your brother, your friend at the airport in a very early time. To all of you, ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for a very warm receiving meeting like this to my delegation. And again, don't hesitate. Let's work together. Global South, and this is, I think, very important. Let's do something together. We are together. We are very strong. Thank you very much.
Would now like to see the physical of the engagements that the minister has given us, and I would like to invite our Ministry of Livestock and the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Animal Health, Indonesia, for them to sign some LOI. Kindly, if we meet, let us be seated, kindly. The Ministry of Agriculture is represented by PS in this. All right.
Relax, what are these? I can't get.
Yes, you can have our ministers witnessing, especially the exchange. Thank you. We'll invite the team to exchange the LOIs. Just exchange the LOIs. All right, let us stand and exchange. Thank you very much. Just exchange. Great. Yes, show us what you have signed. Great, let's appreciate them. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the two ministers for a photo session here, and let the rest of the ministers present join them kindly. Our Minister for Mining and Energy. Waziri, we can have a quick photo session here. Our ministers here. Great, we'll request our PSS to join the photo. Our PSS, kindly join the photo. Great. We've come to the end of this session, and we'd like to request everyone to be seated as we allow the ministers to be ushered for lunch, led by of us. Let's be seated kindly as we allow the VIPs to go for lunch, being led by Dr. Mbai. Let us all be seated because the rest of us will have to get vouchers for us to have our lunch. So kindly remain in the room. The VIPs can proceed for lunch. Let's allow the VIPs to proceed for lunch. The Indonesian delegation and the Kenyan VIP kindly proceed for lunch. The CEOs from Indonesia, the team from Indonesia, kindly proceed with the rest, including the president of Chamber and the chair of KEPSA. All right. We now know each other. It will be great if we can